Hey everybody, this is Rob over at Messing Up Rules. Um, Today we're going to do an unboxing of Tet Offensive from GDW Games. This is for Gary over there at Ard Wolf's Lair. On the live stream the other night, or the counter clipping the other night, he mentioned that it might be good to have a YouTube unboxing of Tet Offensive. So here we go. I don't know a ton about this game. I know I played it years ago one time, and since um, I saw this in a secondhand store down in Denver um, a while back. It was incomplete copy. Um, it piqued my interest again. I got this copy from Noble Knight Games. It also has a magazine in here that is not included in the game, but I'll show that to you when we get to it. Anyway, so here we go. Tet Offensive, 1968, the turning point of turning point in Vietnam. GDW Games. This is from 1991. Side of the box, and these are those like 80s, 90s Monopoly size game boxes, little thicker than a Monopoly box. Artwork. Sorry for the shadows and the glare. The lighting's terrible. The board. Um, it is those garish colors. I guess in the grognard wargaming world, these are referred to as maps. This is a mounted map. Trifold. Uh, Thought it was interesting that shows Chapone. Uh, that was the area of subject of the Lam Son 719 operation in the 70s, in the early 70s. There's some errata. Oh, this, I don't know if it shows up on the video. It shows up on my monitor pretty well here, but there's some pattern on these green areas that denote delta. It's kind of hard to see on the map key or the legend. And then there's some errata that I'll show you. All of these green areas, regardless of their shade, are lowland. And then, regardless again of the shade of green, these areas with the pattern in the background are delta. That was interesting that errata was included in the box, even even in the 90s. Anyway, pretty typical of 80s and 90s era games with the garish colors, real sharp lines. I feel like you could almost play Fire in the Lake on this map. Not really, just kidding. So there's the map. Oh, here's that. This is that Fire and Movement magazine that featured Tet Offensive. It's pretty nice article in here. Um, it even includes some examples of play and stuff, which I thought was pretty cool. I won't go through the whole thing, but this also came from Noble Knight Games. Here's that errata sheet. It's interesting, pretty cool. Um, Correspondence card, pretty typical of the day. some combat results tables, card stock, but pretty thin, almost like craft paper, but nice. I mean, no, they're very clearly printed. Very nice. And there's two of them in the box. We have the rule book, which is black and white. It's illustrated. I think it was 32 pages. Only about half of this is actually rules, though. There's some rules set up. There's actually a FAQ included here, which was pretty cool. Then it goes into bibliography, a little bit of history about the AK-47 and M16, and then your counter sheet inventories, which is pretty cool. And I have not checked that against what's actually in the box here. And then it goes into some historical context, which is nice. And combat results table on the back, and a morale phase table as well. It's nice paper. It's pretty typical of the era, though. And then some of the counters that I've clipped, just to show. I don't know if that's going to focus or not, but the registration is off on these counters. That's probably going to hurt your OCD, Gary. Hurts mine anyway. But they're playable. I mean, there's nothing that would prevent you from playing the game with those counters, other than not being able to focus because your OCD is going off. Not clipped yet. Will be eventually, maybe. Little, I think that's a 10 millimeter die. Some of the artwork on these. See how the registration is off on the insurrection counter. The eye is barely there. And anyway, nonetheless, the artwork is kind of cool. Then over on the side here, there's little standee pieces for these flag markers, on which also the registration is off. These are kind of hard, a little bit hard to put together, but if you kind of squeeze them like that, kind of pop. Whoops, did that out of the frame. Sorry. Squeeze them together, and there they are. And those stand up on the map. And I'll tell you, when you set this thing up, the map is super busy. And as I recall playing it, I'm going to have to get this thing out and actually play it. But it's pretty fiddly. It's pretty interesting. So this game was unpunched. So I actually punched it, and I kept the frames for whatever reason. And then I set it up and organized it in these little bags. The counters by setup. So there's three full sheets of counters, but some of those counters again are like, these are like, I think these are 1.5 inches or 1 5/8 square. So they take up quite a bit of space on those counter sheets. Like I want to say like 170 some counters. I don't know how much of this you want to see. I keep taking them out of frame too. You can see on most of them, just take it out of the bag. The registration is not great. So that's it for that. I did that little tray. I mean, that was this little organizer came in the box. That was from the publisher, which was pretty cool. I'm going to put the thing back together and show you the back of the box and some of the stuff on the side of the box. Some of the stuff on the side of the box is pretty cool. So there's a little bit of that history on the AK-47 on this side of the box, on the inner box. Same thing over here on the M16A1. Pretty cool. And then this is going to kill everybody. I'm going to flip this box upside down. There's the back of the box. So that's it. Tet Offensive, 1968, turning point in Vietnam from GDW Games. Gary, thanks for mentioning it on your channel the other night. Aardwolf's Lair, counter clipping. It's a great channel. Everybody should check it out if you haven't. Until next time, if there is a next time, you'll notice this is the only video I have on my channel at the moment. Keep playing games, and I'll check in with you guys another time. See ya.